like being told what to do? How about being told what you can and you cannot eat? Would you like someone else dictating what you purchase? Oh, and how about saying what's on your mind? Yeah, I like saying what I think. Can you say CBDC? You probably can, but let me translate it for you. It means we own you and you will have zero privacy. You're not going to believe what the Fed just admitted, and it will affect your ability to live your life as you please. I'm going to break down what's quietly tucked away at the Federal Reserve and their plans for CBDC, as well as what the World Economic Forum plans for your future. If you like this type of content, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Okay, let's jump into it. So a while back, I was doing some research on CBDC because everybody's talking about it. And while doing the research, I continue to uncover interesting information about tokenizing our money. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but our government seems to be somewhat threatened by the idea of Bitcoin. So, they want to be able to get the upper hand if they can. But that's just part of the picture. And it's a big picture. CBDC, central bank digital currency, is nothing like Bitcoin. Far from. That's just what the Fed wants you to think, the World Economic Forum wants you to think. It's nothing like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is an anonymous type of currency, and it offers ultimate privacy in any financial transaction. So let's step back for a moment and I'll try to explain the moving parts. Currently, right now, when using conventional money, there's always a third party involved in the transfer of those funds. It's either a bank or a credit card company, some type of transferring middleman. Unless, of course, you're paying with cash. Bitcoin cuts out the middleman. There's no banks, no credit card networks, no PayPal. It's a peer-to-peer transaction. I give money to you or you give money to me, and nobody knows about it and nobody else is involved. It's private, and I'm sure you can see why the government doesn't like that. So ultimately, the plan is to get rid of cash and to implement a digital currency where nothing is private and they can track everything, control everything, tax everything. Did I say control everything? The Biden administration started implementing plans for CBDC in the early part of 2021. Harnessing the knowledge from institutions like MIT and others to create a government-controlled digital currency. The Digital Dollar Project promised 5 pilot projects, which were planned to kick off in late 2022 to evaluate whether and how a U.S. CBDC would benefit people who are unbanked, a key point stressed in the Biden administration's executive order. Unbanked. While that's an interesting term, I guess it means that you don't have a bank. How many illegal aliens are here in the United States earning cash under the table? I'll get back to that in a little while. So CBDC are being tested all over the world. Per the International Monetary Fund, the Bahamas, Jamaica, and Nigeria have already introduced CBDC, and more than 100 countries are in the exploration stage. Central bankers in Brazil, China, the Euro area, India, and the United Kingdom are all at the forefront of CBDC development. Many of these countries plan to go live very shortly. There's even a CBDC tracker. I kid you not. So it is a thing, and not a good thing. So if you're not aware, this past week in Davos, Switzerland, the World Economic Forum met with all the elites there, trying to figure out, how to tell us little people how to live our lives. And CBDC was a topic of discussion at this meeting, amongst other topics. There's a lot of topics. I could go down a list of crap that they are discussing about how we should live our lives, but that's for for another video. Let's stick with the CBDC right now. So, the World Economic Forum and pretty much all governments right now want to switch to this digital token money system. And in order to sell us on its benefits, they have a laundry list of things they're trying to convince you of how great it is, like moving money instantly. Okay, as if swiping your credit card at a store and having the money go through, I don't know, 2 seconds isn't good enough? Maybe somebody should tell MasterCard. And the other list of benefits are just as ridiculous, because no freedom-loving American sees any benefit in having the government control your money. Oh, but wait, the World Economic Forum says this is a benefit that will come from CBDC. CBDC can cut transaction costs and times. Of course, when migrants send money back to people in their home country, they face an average charge on any transaction of about 6.25%. So, CBDC could reduce the costs of any cross-border transaction. Nice, right? But the truth really comes out if you listen to this clip right here.
If you think about the benefits of digital money, there are huge potential gains. It's not just about digital forms of physical currency. You can have programmability, units of central bank currency with expiry dates. You could have, as I argue in my book, a potentially better and some people might see it, or a darker world where the government decides that units of central bank money can be used to purchase some things, but not other things that it deems less desirable.
Let me play that again, just in case you don't understand clearly what they have planned for you and me.
It's not just about digital forms of physical currency. You can have programmability.
Programmable CBDC. It's coming. And right now we have a very small window where we could possibly escape it. But quite frankly, the odds are not in our favor. As I mentioned in the opening of this video, your privacy will be completely gone and everything will be monitored. And on top of them tracking everything that you do and saying what you can and cannot buy, they're also going to be tracking your carbon footprint.
What does that mean? Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker.
And while the details are not disclosed yet on the carbon footprint limits, which will be attached to the CBDC, you can bet your bottom dollar that they are going to limit how much red meat you can eat, how much beer you can drink, and how many miles you can drive. The painful truth is these climate ideologues don't care that implementing these type of restrictions will increase your cost of living. It will increase the cost of everything. And they don't care if it's going to ruin your quality of life. Rational thinking is not part of the Great Reset. Privacy is not one of the benefits of the Great Reset. The World Economic Forum wants to reset the entire world. And one of their slogans is Build Back Better. So now, you wonder how that came about. Yes, someone we know who likes to borrow other people's words.
And now is the time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it.
And while you'll hear from the bureaucrats that CBDC is not programmable, think again. Because right on the Federal Reserve's website, it has it in plain sight for you to view. So, per our federal government, the main economic attributes of a technically effective currency rests on 3 functions: a unit of account, a store of value, and as a medium of exchange. But there's a 4th function, apparently, as a means of social control. Now that's on the Federal Reserve's website, amongst others, because on whitehouse.gov, as recently as September of 2022, they also have outlined the function of CBDC is to also be a programmable currency. Yes, I've highlighted it right here. So let's talk about that. Exactly what does programmable mean? Well, exactly like it sounds. They say what you can and can't do. They say what you can and cannot buy. And if you're not a good little citizen, they can freeze the currency. They can put a sunset date on the currency. They can tell you how much you have to spend. They could literally say, you need to spend $3,000 a month to stimulate the economy. And there's also the question of if the government is in control of your money, are they going to pay you interest like a bank would? But the bottom line here is, if you're not a good little citizen, they can freeze it. Look at what happened to the truckers in Canada.
If your truck is being used in these protests, your corporate accounts will be frozen. The insurance on your vehicle will be suspended. The consequences are real, and they will bite.
Because they wanted the right to say what did not go in their body. So this is very dangerous. And it's just not the World Economic Forum and local governments wanting to do this. The World Health Organization has also started to weigh in on certain controls they want to have over you. Yes, the World Health Organization wants the United States of America to enter into an agreement that if we were to have another pandemic, they can say what we can't do, if there are lockdowns, what you have to put in your body in order to participate in society, you'll be at their mercy. So what do you think of this? I'd love to have a conversation and have you tell me if this is okay with you, because it's not okay with me. And I'd like to talk about something else as well. Over the next 12 months, things are going to get quite scary. As if they weren't already. But AI is going to be used to demonize topics like this. It's going to be used to suppress videos that talk about things like this. You will no longer see them on your homepage, on YouTube, Facebook, or anywhere else. So that's why it's very important that 1, you subscribe, 2, you hit the bell so you're notified, and 3, you should probably get on an email list so you can be notified when a video is uploaded, whether it's this channel or any other channel where you get information. It was actually discussed this week in Davos.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear Klaus, your annual global risk report makes for a stunning and sobering read. For the global business community, the top concern for the next 2 years is not conflict or climate. It is disinformation and misinformation, followed closely by polarization within our societies. These risks are serious because they limit our ability to tackle the big global challenges we are facing. Changes in our climate and our geopolitical climate.
So in the future, I'm probably going to be using a great deal of code. I'll have to put some thought into it. How to talk about certain things without talking about certain things. And you're smart, you'll figure out what I mean. Now you may be asking yourself, why is she making a video about CBDC? Well, because it's important. And many people are busy and they don't focus on stuff like this. And I think it's very important to make sure you get the information out to as many people as possible. And 2, I have grandkids. I worry about their future as well. And while I'm only one voice, you can share this video. You can also bombard your state officials telling them how much you don't want CBDC. Believe me, it does work. So I would encourage you to do that. There currently is some legislation to ban it, but it hasn't passed, at least not yet. And it's going to take both the House and the Senate in order to get a bill like that passed. And we know how well they work together. You know, if you got some value out of this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really does help this channel. Consider subscribing if you haven't already done so, and tell me what you think. I would really like to know. And as far as this channel, I will continue to make content that affects my life. And if it affects my life, more than likely it affects yours. You know the name of the channel is Living with Lisa. So make sure to hit that like button and come back and see me again real soon. Take care.